Oh, did y'all see that press conference yesterday with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford? This press conference was off the chain, y'all. Complete fireworks. I was very entertained. And for the first time, I'm actually excited and interested in watching this fight, man. I've been on record saying that Canelo Alvarez should win this fight because Terence Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes. You look at the first fight that he had at 154 against Israel Majimov. I think it was one of his worst performances. He got hit a lot. One of his eyes was almost entirely closed up. And I think Majimov won that fight, right? I've been saying that for a while now, right? Even though a lot of people disagree with me, I don't give a fuck, right? You guys are able to have your opinion. I got my opinion, nigga. So with that being said, Terence Crawford, when he came out, he got a lot of boos. And he responded to the fans, man. He said, shout out to everybody booing. I'm going to make all of y'all cry when I beat Canelo, right? So also, Canelo basically told Turkey Al-Sheikh to make the ring smaller so Terence Crawford can't run away from him. So Terence responded by saying, the only running I'm going to be doing is running upside your head. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was a very smooth response by Bud, man. That was a very smooth, witty, quick response, you know what I'm saying, from Terence Crawford. So after this, man, first of all, shout out to Max Kellerman. I was a huge fan of Max Kellerman when he was on First Take. I think that he was the best co-host that Stephen A. Smith has ever had. And it's unfortunate that he got fired for calling out Stephen A. Smith for being a fucking coon, right? So shout out to Max Kellerman. He was at this press conference. Shout out to Dana White. Listen, man, whether you like Dana White or not, whether you feel like Dana White deserves to be promoting this super fight in boxing when he comes from the UFC, one thing that you can't deny, man, is Dana White, he's great at what he does, man. I think Dana White being at this press conference, I think it had a lot to do with Terence Crawford doing what he did to Canelo. We're going to get into that very soon. But you guys got to understand, man, that guys like Dana White, like I said, he's great at what he does, man. And I think him being there, having a guy from the UFC, which is a much more brutal sport than boxing, I think that it brought the edge out of Terence, man. So with that being said, right, so we get into the face-off, right? So they tell both fighters to face off, right? Now, I noticed this, and I didn't see anybody else on YouTube talking about this, not Showbiz or any of these goofy-ass niggas, right? So Terence Crawford immediately gets out of his chair, and he walks to the front for the face-off, but Canelo is off to the side doing something else. So Terence goes off to the side, and then they announce it again. They said, okay, it's time for face-off. So Canelo walks up first, right? So Terence walks up in front of Canelo's face, and these guys are so close to each other that they damn near could kiss, right? Like, no diddy, I'm just telling y'all what it is, right? So they're face-to-face. Dana White is in the middle. So Terence Crawford starts walking forward and forcing Canelo to walk backwards, right? So Canelo takes a few steps backwards, and he's looking at Terence like, nigga, are you trying to bully me? And then Terence pushes Terence, right? So Canelo pushes Terence off of him, right? So Terence, he barely moved when Canelo pushed him, right? Like, if you let Canelo fans tell it, you got a lot of Canelo fans on the internet saying, oh, Canelo only pushed him with one hand and he stumbled all the way back. That's cap. That's a lie. If you watch the video, Canelo shoves him, right? Gives him a little weak push, right? Terence literally takes maybe 2 steps back and immediately starts going forward to try to either push or hit Canelo, right? So after the push, Terence immediately starts walking forward. Security starts pulling Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is pushing the security guards off of him, and he's walking straight forward to Canelo, and Canelo is literally not running, but walking backwards away from Terence, right? And then eventually Bomac gets in the middle. We all know Bomac is a big dude. He looks like a damn football lineman. Bomac gets in the middle and breaks everything up before it gets out of control. And then after that, Canelo walks back up. And at this point, Canelo's giving Terence Crawford a death stare. Now Canelo is on demon time, right? Canelo's staring butt down. They face off again, but Dana White stays in the middle so they don't get too close to each other. And Terence Crawford has this serial killer sinister look in his eyes, and he's smiling. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what happened, man. If I was to pick, who won this press conference, I would definitely say Terence Crawford did. I think that, his responses on the mic, him saying that he's going to run upside Canelo's head, him basically, riling up the fans and responding to the fans booing him. And then him doing that intense face-off, pretty much backing up Canelo and making him move backwards and forcing Canelo to push him. And then Canelo's walking backwards and shit while Terence is moving forward. I think that Terence was sending a message in his press conference, and the message that he was sending is he's not worried about the weight, right? He's not worried about moving up 2 weight classes. He's not worried about Canelo being the natural bigger guy, and he ain't doing no running. If anything, maybe Terence is gonna have Canelo fight on the back foot, guys. Like, think about this, right? When's the last time that we seen Canelo fight on the back foot? The last time I can recall is when Canelo fought Triple G the first time, right? Most of the fight, Triple G was walking him down, and Canelo was having some success on the back foot, right? He was even showing some Floyd Mayweather type shit where he was on the ropes, dodging a bunch of punches that Triple G was throwing at him, countering punches. I think that's the last time that I saw Canelo fight on the back foot. Usually Canelo was walking dudes down, right? Also, there was points in the fight with Dimitri Bivol when he lost where he was walking backwards, and we all saw what happened with that. Canelo was getting hit a lot in that fight, right? But can you guys imagine if Terence Crawford, who only had 1 fight at 54, goes up to 168 and makes Canelo back up the entire fight? I can't see it happening, but one thing I've learned is don't underestimate Terence Bud Crawford, because I think many people like myself, when Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence, we said the same thing we're saying about Canelo. Errol Spence is the bigger guy. Errol Spence has the better resume. Terence Crawford is too little. And what did we see in that fight? We seen Terence shove Errol like it was nothing to where Errol almost fell. And we seen Terence Crawford beat the shit out of Errol Spence. We seen Terence Crawford drop Errol Spence with a jab. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, don't underestimate Terence Bud Crawford. Listen, I don't know about y'all. I'm a fan of the moment, right? When I saw that press conference yesterday, I switched my pick from Canelo to Terence. And I know a lot of people in the comments are going to say, oh, well, press conferences don't make fights. You're going to switch your pick because of a press conference? Yes, I am, because I'm a fan of the moment, guys. What you guys got to understand is press conferences they're designed to promote and get you excited for the fight. What you guys got to understand is I wasn't excited at all for this fight when it was announced, because I didn't want to see it. I wanted to see Canelo fight David Benavidez, and I wanted to see Terence Crawford fight Jerome Boots Ennis. I had no interest in seeing Canelo versus Terence Crawford because in my mind, it didn't make any sense. I don't want to see a guy who I think lost to Majimov at 154 go up 2 more weight classes and fight the best fighter in that weight class, who in my opinion has one of the strongest chins in the history of boxing, right? We got to give Canelo credit when it's due. Canelo has a Superman chin. It just is what it is, man. But after seeing the second press conference, I know for a fact that Terence Crawford is not scared of Canelo. And I know for a fact that Terence Crawford is not going to run away from Canelo. And I know for a fact that, and Terence said it on Instagram, he said on Instagram that Canelo was going to pay for pushing him. So you better believe in the next press conference or sometime leading up to this fight, it's going to get ugly, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Y'all better watch these press conferences or watch this fight on Netflix in September. It's going to get ugly, bro. Terence Crawford is the bully. He's not the guy that's going to... I hope y'all know that. He's not the guy that's going to get bullied. He's the bully. You understand what I'm saying? And, I realized that with this press conference yesterday, man. Bud is a killer, man. And for those that don't believe it, just stay tuned and keep watching. Keep watching the press conferences. Watch the fight. I'm telling y'all, it's not going to go how y'all think it's going to go. This is going to be a close fight than we think it is, man. Canelo has been so good that we forget that Canelo got beat by Floyd Mayweather, right? We forget that Canelo got beat by Lara, but Lara got robbed. We forget about that. We forget that Canelo lost the first fight to Triple G, right? It was a draw and Triple G should have won, right? We forget that Canelo lost to Bivol. We forget that Canelo couldn't cut the ring off against William Skull. I think he lost against William Skull because I think William Skull landed more punches than Canelo, But we give excuses to guys that, have worked their way to that #1 spot. And Canelo being the face of boxing, we have let a lot of things slide that we don't let slide for other fighters. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, this is my thoughts. And listen, my pick may switch back to Canelo after the next press conference, but I'm going to be a fan of the moment. And as of right now, I like what I'm seeing from Bud. I got Bud winning this fight, not by knockout. I don't think he's going to knock out Canelo. I don't think he's even going to drop Canelo. I just think he's going to outbox him. And that's my opinion, man. So let me know what you guys think about this video. It's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Follow your boy. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Agree, disagree. Don't matter to me, but just make sure you share the video to your mama. I'm out.